This is Talk of the Town, a weekly program featuring community events happening in and around Northeast Michigan, with your host, Nancy Smitham, and get the latest news from Alpena Community College with Dr. Olin Joyton. And now today's Talk of the Town.
Good morning and welcome to Talk of the Town. I'm Nancy Smitham. My first guest today is Brad Summers from the Boys and Girls Club of Alpena. Hi, Brad.
Hi, Nancy.
I know you said things are crazy there. You're extremely busy, overwhelmed, so many kids, which is an awesome thing. That's exactly what we want to hear.
Oh, absolutely. That's the name of the game during the summertime, is the more kids, the merrier, and the more that we can pass along and the resources we can give these kids, and the more fun and socialization, absolutely. So.
And you know, they're in a safe place with great mentors and good staff and people who care about them rather than being home in those discretionary hours, you know, kind of wondering where they are and what they're doing.
You know, and it's a testament right now to the great staff that we have.
Yes.
They're very compassionate about what they do, and you know, the kids are very receptive to the things that we're providing to them and the educational things that we're passing along. And you know, the staff is very well trained in what they do, and you know, they're very happy to be at doing the positions and happy to be working with the kids of Alpena.
And the things that we say, that learning disguised as fun, and that's one of the things you're doing is Summer Brain Game.
Yep, this is the Summer Brain Game is actually it's the summer learning slide. It's to help with the summer learning slide, where the kids usually between 3rd and 4th grade during the summer, they don't retain half of what they may have learned in that 3rd grade year. So when they're going into the 4th grade year, you know, they aren't as ready as they should be.
Right.
Well, you know, the program that we provide is a national-based program that has a lot of research that goes behind it. It's a very great program that provides these kids with the educational components to move on to that 4th grade level. So when they do actually get into it, they're ready for it. You know, and what you're saying, you know, we're in a unique position where we need to kind of disguise what we do, because
Yes.
during the summer kids don't want to be
Yeah.
sitting around in a classroom setting, you know, learning things and chalkboards, and so we do a lot of high yield learning activities and a lot of creative and fun approaches to teaching the kids, so they actually don't know they're learning as much as they actually are learning, which is a lot of fun.
And they get lunch and a snack.
Yep. Every day we have lunch is provided every day at 1 o'clock for any kid 18 years and younger. They don't even have to be a member. You could just be walking in off the streets, and any kid, any person 18 years and younger can take advantage of the food program. And at 4 o'clock every day we have a nutritious snack for the kids. So, and this is all free of charge. There's no charge for any of this stuff. You know, we have parents that ask us quite a bit, you know, how much do I need to leave each day for the kid? And you know, they're always surprised when we say nothing. It is free.
And then there's lots of fun programs too.
Mm-hmm.
You have fishing, hiking, field trips.
The fishing program has really been taken off this year. We have a lot of kids. We teach the kids the casting and the basics, how to hook and put on a worm, and you know, and which is quite entertaining.
I bet it is.
But Matt Mashinsky has been doing a really great job, and some of the other support staff. We take the kids down. Right, you know, we're blessed to be in such a great
front or backyard, however you want
basically
to say.
our backyard, and you know, we're blessed to have that there and to our disposal, where we can just take the kids and go fishing. And another really, really fun program that we've been doing is Wacky Weather. This one is teaching kids, you know, about clouds and about, you know, the weather as it is. You know, we live in the world, so the kids need to learn some of these skills. And it's a lot of fun for the kids to just learn about different cloud patterns and, you know, what stars are and, you know, all kinds of different things. So.
Ultimate Journey, is that part of the...
That's our science and math-based outdoor adventure program. This is where the kids kind of learn more about nature and discovery of nature, and you know, plants and hiking, camping. At the end of the summer, we are going to be taking 16 to 20 kids camping at one of the local campgrounds.
Perfect.
And you know, having a campfire, telling stories and things like that. And it's kind of something that the kids are building up to throughout the whole summer.
Perfect. And then the YVC is out there.
Oh yes, yes. That group it's been one of our staples. You know, it's been a really, really important program for us. It teaches the kids a lot of leadership ability. You know, and plus the kids are getting engaged in the community.
Right.
So they're out there. They're helping other agencies, you know, better maximize, you know, the funding they may have, and just lending a helping hand. You know, the kids learn so much by just the hands-on, real-world application of what it takes to do certain jobs. jobs or, you know, real life experiences. So.
And networking in the community, and when they're looking for that future job, they maybe have someone they can use as a reference or put on a college application.
And sometimes it even leads to part-time jobs for kids.
Sure.
You know, and we've talked in the past too about how important it is for, you know, going into that next step after high school, into that college,
Yes.
you know, going into college, you know, and this program really helps kids understand, you know, the leadership capacity that they have and how they can make a difference in whatever community they have. And it kind of puts them a little ahead above all the others too, because it's a program, it's a leadership program.
It is. And memberships up at the club, you said, wow, busy, busy, busy.
Yeah, we are seeing, right now we're averaging, you know, 80 to 90 kids a day right now.
Amazing.
You know, it feels like the good old days. You know, we've always had very strong participation, but this year we've really seen a big increase. And I think that's because of, you know, the great things that the staff has been doing
Yes.
with, you know, the fun educational programs and things we're providing. Because, you know, we do have that time for socialization when the kids do actually have pool sticks in their hands. They're learning to play pool and just hanging out with their friends. But there's a lot of really important educational things that we are passing on to this on to the kids, our members that do come in the club. And for $10 a year or $15 for a family, we like to consider ourselves one of the best deals in town.
Oh yes, and just, you know, the mentoring, having the staff there, you know, talking to them, letting them know that you care about them, that you're working with them, and, you know, just having fun with them, you know, rather than just sitting home by yourself all day and not knowing what's going on or what's happening.
You know, it's hard to get kids away from video games.
Oh yes.
You know, but
And you have those.
And yes, I mean, there's times to play video games, but there's also times to hang out with friends, and you get that social component, and you're learning at the same time and having a great time. So, you know, getting kids out and getting them physically active too through gym
Yes.
programs and outdoor activities that we do. There's so many different things that we try to provide these kids. Such a diverse range of programming that we feel is very important, and there's research to back up why it is important. So, you know, for us, it's always one of those. It's so fun to work where we work, and you know, we all have a strong passion for what we do, and we absolutely love working at the Boys and Girls Club.
Okay, your hours this time of year are?
Right now, we are open 12 till 6 Monday through Thursday, and then 12 till 5 on Fridays.
Okay.
So pretty basic times, but we're open.
Thank you so much for being here. Look forward to talking to you next month.
Thank you for having me.
I'll be right back with Tom Pelkey from Huron Humane Society following these messages. Hi, welcome back. My last guest today is Tom Pelkey, who is a volunteer for Huron Humane Society. Hi, Tom.
Hi, Nancy. How are you?
Good. We talk about the Boys and Girls Club being, our previous guest, being busy and overloaded with kids, and the same thing goes with you, except
we're
that you
overloaded
have,
with animals.
Yeah,
yes.
with animals, as always, and it's a busy time of year out at the Humane Society, too.
Yeah, you have your busy days, and then some days you have a lot of empty kennels. It kind of goes in streaks.
Okay. And today you've brought a special guest. This is Buster.
Yes, we brought Buster. He's a handsome guy.
He is.
He was brought in as a stray. Hard to believe that anybody'd want to get rid of him, but he was brought in as a stray. He's been with us since about April.
Okay.
And real gentleman, really. He's an alpha male.
Okay.
He will be getting altered soon. And,
Okay.
And that's probably going to settle a lot of that down.
Okay.
But he's a great guy.
Okay.
Completely housebroken.
All
Clean
right.
as a whistle. I walk him every morning. I go out before I go to work and walk a bunch of dogs, and his kennel's always clean. He's always anxious to go.
I bet. Okay.
Super fella. Yeah.
So keep that in mind. And what would it take to adopt him?
Just come in and fill out an adoption form. I believe the adoption fee is still $50.
Okay.
And we're going to get him altered, but if somebody took him ahead of time, the alteration is free.
Okay.
We've got a lot of special programs worked out with all the vets.
Okay.
And they're all offering free medical exams.
Wonderful.
And then they also get microchipped and so forth. It's a really good deal.
It is a good deal. And speaking of good deals, we have a couple of fundraisers coming up.
Yes, we do. We have our Tag Day coming up July 25th and 26th, Tag Days. Those are days when we're at some of the stores, Walmart and Neiman's for sure right now. And we give out information on the shelter. People can come out and ask us questions, and we always have some of the animals with us so they can meet them and spend some time with them. And then we have what's become an annual a hair extravaganza coming up in August. That'll be August 29th. We have a hairdresser, a professional hairdresser, who has set a goal of doing 50 haircuts in 50 days in 50 states.
Wow.
And this will be our 3rd year with him, and we're an exclusive for Michigan.
Perfect.
And he, I think they did 80 haircuts last year.
Wow.
And this year it'll be here in Alpena. It had been in Rogers City. This year it'll be in Alpena at the Bellevue at the mall.
Okay.
And you can call there to make appointments.
All right.
And he just cuts till he's done.
That's perfect.
Yeah, it's great.
And everything goes to Huron Humane Society.
Yeah, everything goes to Huron Humane Society.
Okay.
Yep.
Any other things there on your list? I know we want to talk about the building too. What's been going on in the building?
Well, we're moving forward. Up until a couple of months ago, we were continuing to expand on our new construction for the dog areas. The funding situation was such that I was afraid that with what we had to work with, we wouldn't be able to complete anything that we could use, because it's the dogs require, you know, the individual cages. It's a lot more expense and time wise and so forth. So we kind of switched gears, and we began construction on one of the new cat rooms.
Okay.
That'll be on the north side of our partition wall there, and that'll be a 12 by 27 room.
Wow. Well, that's good, because your cat room was so crowded. I know that's been an issue for a while.
Well, we've actually got 2 cat colonies plus our cat intake. So this area out in the warehouse, that will be about 27 feet for a new cat room, and then the 15 feet in front of that will be a new intake room for cats.
And we need to tell people, get your cats spayed and neutered. Please don't let them populate. When I listen to Val on the radio talking about how many cats and kittens come from one male or one female.
That's right.
It's unbelievable. Please, that's your responsibility as a cat owner. If you don't want the responsibility, don't have the cats. Please don't let them keep multiplying.
Yeah, and we offer, you know, we offer the spay and neuter, you know, with the adoption. I mean, that's not an issue, but it's just. We just have an awful lot of cats.
I know.
And they're everywhere, and they're all shapes and sizes and colors. And
you see them running around the streets in town. You see them everywhere. Just, you know, what a shame, what a waste. You know, they're important. They shouldn't be allowed just to run loose and.
That's right. Well, and people too, they think cats are tough because they're running wild all the time, but actually cats are real susceptible to a lot of diseases that people don't realize, and especially respiratory diseases and that. And a lot of these feral cats you see running around that you think are running wild and free, they may only live a year.
Yeah.
And
then, too, you had spoken about being a volunteer yourself, how you do, I mean, your volunteer list is endless there. But, you know, someone, like you said, go out and walk a dog once a day or every other day. Pick a day that works for you. Go out and walk 3 or 4 dogs. There's so many volunteer opportunities, things that you can do that make a tremendous difference. If you think, oh, I only have an hour, hey, we'll take it.
Yeah, and helping to clean is, I mean, that's that's the dirty job you don't see on Animal Planet.
Right.
But it's there.
And working at fundraisers, answering phones, exercising animals, working in the cat room, you know, doing laundry. There's so many jobs that a volunteer can do at Huron Humane Society.
Absolutely.
That is so greatly appreciated.
And our website's full of information on the different things we're involved in, and our fundraisers that are coming up are also posted on there. And if anybody wants to get involved, you know, feel free to call out there.
Right, and your fundraisers, you know, are very, very important. You know, you don't get the funding. You need to have those fundraisers be successful. And I thank everyone for supporting them in the past and for your continued support in the future.
85% of our budget comes from donations.
Right, and if you're not a volunteer, then drop off some things at the shelter: kitty litter, dog food, cat food, paper towels, laundry soap, fabric softener, all the things that you use at home. Basically, you can use at the shelter.
Yes.
Paper for the copy machine, paper for everything that you do. All kinds of things that can be done to help.
Absolutely.
Well, I want to thank you very much for being here today, Tom.
Thanks for having us.
Anything left on your list we didn't hit?
No, I think that was it. We should have this new cat room done by fall. fully
Good.
operational, fully lit, and ready to go.
And you can use volunteers for that too. If anyone has any building skills or any time to donate, just give you a call or stop by the shelter. Be
Or-
glad to have their help.
That's right. And if they have leftover building materials from a project,
Yes.
or they'd like to buy us some building materials for the project, they can just call out the shelter and leave their phone number in that, and I'll call them back and
Wonderful.
talk about it and see what they've got.
Sounds terrific.
Okay.
Thank you so much, Tom.
Thanks, Nancy.
Please stay
Take care.
tuned for Dr. Olin Joyton following these messages.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to Talk of the Town. I'm Olin Joyton, president of Alpena Community College. My guest this morning, Master Sergeant Robert Mills of the Combat Readiness Training Center. Welcome to the show, Matt.
Good morning.
And so how about a little bit of background on you? You grew up in Alpena, isn't that true?
That's correct. I was born and raised here in Alpena. My dad worked for 42 years right next door at the Alpena County Road Commission, where he retired. My mom is a cosmetologist here. I'm still actively doing her craft, and I was graduated from Alpena High School before joining the Air Force in 1991.
Well, that's great, and thank you very much at the outset for your service to our country. Really do appreciate it. As far as education goes, you attended Alpena Community College and graduated from it, right?
Yes, sir. I was fortunate enough to have an opportunity. Had a good supervisor that education was important to him, and after almost 18 years of service, he took me aside one day and said, you know, have you ever thought about, you know, if you do a lot for your military career, have you ever thought about doing something for yourself? And he said, you know, why don't you look into it? And so I went, you know, right next door to Alpena Community College and looked into taking some classes, and I finished my associate's degree from Alpena Community College, and then once I had that done, I finished another associate's degree from the Community College of the Air Force, and I just kept on going.
Sounds like you got hooked on education.
You know, while it's hot, you know, you keep on going, and I eventually went on and finished a bachelor's degree at Ashford University in sociology and criminal justice, and I'm currently working on my master's now from Columbia Southern University.
Well, that's terrific. I believe that we're all innately curious, and satisfying your curiosity often leads to more questions and more curiosity, so it's kind of a good addiction, but it's great to see and to hear about that kind of progress. And now you're working for Alpena Community College
Yes.
as an instructor in the criminal justice program.
It was kind of a interesting opportunity. I had received a call one day to have lunch with the director, Mike Roy, and well, over lunch, Mike had mentioned, he said, have you ever thought about, you know, teaching and passing along some of your expertise of, you know, with your many years of service in criminal justice with the Air Force? And I said, you know, it'd be interesting. I'd probably enjoy doing something like that. And he said, well, you know, how about this semester? And so it was fairly short notice. You had an immediate opening, and I was optimistic at how well I was doing. The reviews the students gave back were very positive, and it's just kind of grown from there, from 1 class to 2 classes to 3 classes, and I really enjoy doing it.
Well, you're kind of like me. Whenever I was an instructor, I would also take a class from time to time, so I could get back into that experience of being a student and kind of get a better handle on where my students were coming from, and I could interact with them better that way. I bet that's turned out that way for you too.
It does. It's interesting when you're taking additional classes, and then you're teaching some classes, that sometimes some things will come up in your class that you're learning about that you can turn around and pass on immediately to your students that they wouldn't have normally been exposed to, that's applicable to their career.
You kind of meet yourself coming and going. And all this is in addition to your main occupation, your assignment at the base. How about a little overview of your military career?
Well, I've been in a little over 22 years now. I started off on active duty in 1991. I was assigned to Bergstrom Air Force Base in Austin, Texas. So I went from little town of Alpena, Michigan to Austin, Texas. So that was a cultural shock and change for me initially. And then after being assigned there for about 2 years, the Base Realignment and Closure Committee chose to downsize the Air Force a little bit, close that base down, and an assignment team came in and said, you know, what would you like to do for your career path? And I said, I'd really like to get back home. Unfortunately, when my base closed, the bases in our immediate area were also closing on as part of that list. So I decided to transfer to the Air Force Reserve and was assigned down at Selfridge Air National Guard Base. And I came back here and was a traditional reservist, doing like the 1 weekend a month and a couple weeks out of the summer. And my civilian job, I worked as a loss control manager for Kmart. And then in 1998, I had an opportunity. We were training up here at Alpena, and I met the superintendent of security forces, and Jim Nye took me aside and he said, you know, if you were an Air National Guard guy, you know, we'd probably find a home for you up here. And I said, well, since I'm from here, that'd really be a great idea. And lo and behold, I transferred up to Alpena and to this Combat Range Training Center. I've been there ever since now.
That's great. To close out the program, you've recently been selected for a very prestigious national award that has a very long title. And so why don't you give the whole title and let the audience know what that's all about?
Well, I was selected as the 2013 Air National Guard Security Forces Flight Level Senior Non-Commissioned Officer of the Year.
That's a mouthful indeed.
It is. Essentially, I was, as a security forces member of the Air National Guard, I'm a senior non-commissioned officer, and we have a couple categories where they recognize folks for outstanding leadership, training, and things that you've done with your career. And the flight level senior non-commissioned officer of the year emphasizes all of those things, but in addition to day-to-day operations, that although I do training and schedule training and work with various units to fulfill their needs at the Combat Range Training Center, my primary job is a military policeman at the base. So I find myself working any kind of incidents, reports, and investigations that either come up due to misconduct, or if they're directed, for follow-up from other agencies or incidents that take place around the world with military members.
Well, that's really great. Congratulations on all these accomplishments. In addition to all this, you are the contact person for ACC to establish classes on the base. Any parting word for members of the audience about your career?
Whether you decide to join the military, the active duty, Guard, Reserve, I've served in all three, and I've worked with great folks across every branch of the service. It's been a good way of life for me, and I'm just fortunate to be able to enjoy my military time and be back home, and that's rare.
Well, congratulations on your success, and thank you very much for being on the program this morning.
Thank you, Doctor.
This has been Talk of the Town with Nancy Smitham and Dr. Olin Joyton. For a list of events taking place in Northeast Michigan, visit our website at www.wbkb11.com and click on Community. This has been a Thunder Bay Broadcasting Corporation production.